I'm going to be making an easy chocolate cake from scratch. So I try to have all of my ingredients out. They're not like portioned out just yet, but I have them all out, and I'm trying to get it done really quick to put in the oven before my daughter wakes up. So let's see if I can get this done. You'll need 2 cups of sugar, and I have a 2-cup measuring cup. It's a different style of video that I'm doing. We'll see how it works. Okay. 2 cups of sugar, and I have a big mixing pan, and while I don't forget it, preheat your oven to 350. All right. You'll need 1 3/4 cups of flour, and I do like to spoon mine in and even it out. This is a 1 cup. 1 cup. And I do have a 3/4 cup, which is my yellow one. So 3/4 flour. And then you'll need 3/4 cups of unsweetened cocoa powder. So I have some of that. Again, 3/4 cup. And it might be kind of lumpy, so you might just want to see how much of it you can break down. Okay, 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. And then you'll need 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder and baking soda. So 1.5 each. I'm just going to use a 1/2 teaspoon 3 times. One, 2, 3. And then again with the baking soda, 3 scoops with the 1/2 teaspoon. And then it says a teaspoon of salt. And this is my salt jar. Just regular table salt. Want to give that a good mix. Get all of your ingredients incorporated. Mixed well. I think if your cocoa powder is really lumpy, I think it would probably have been best to put it through like a strainer that you can kind of really push all the little chunks out, but it'll be fine. All right, now that that is mixed very well incorporated, you'll want to add 2 eggs. I already got my 2 eggs out. Two eggs. Also, it does call for a cup of boiling water, so I'm going to go ahead and get that started. Maybe not on that one. There, that way that can be going and it can be ready by the time I need it. Need a cup of milk, so I already got that poured out and ready. I'm going to use the same, and I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of oil. Then it calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I don't measure vanilla, I just pour it in till it looks good. About that much. It'll be okay. Give that a good mix together. You can definitely use a hand mixer. I don't own a hand mixer, so I usually will just use a whisk. I have a stand mixer, but I don't think it's worth pulling out for that. And plus, it's not here in my house. I used it as a decoration for our ladies' conference, and I still haven't brought it home. Okay. Much better. Give it a good mix everything together. Once we get it all mixed and the water is boiling, we will put that in, we will mix that in, stir it in. It will be very thin, but that's okay. It says you can make it into 2 9-inch round pans or a cake pan, whatever. I'm gonna do it on a sheet pan because I'm gonna see if I can do one almost like a pumpkin roll but chocolate. We're gonna see. I'm gonna see just how thin it is. Once I get that in there and see how well it spreads. I already have my sheet pan out. It's a 11 by 15, I believe. Just a regular cookie sheet. I'm not going to spray it down because it is a non-stick, and I have not had any issues with stuff sticking to it without spraying. I've never had to do that. And a couple of years ago, I made some pumpkin rolls on here, and I didn't spray it, and they still came out really well. So, I have heard that if you have a non-stick pan, that you don't want to spray them because it will mess it up. So, I've been trying my best on these ones. Okay, so it's mixed up very well. Waiting on the water to boil, and it's almost there. I think I got this. If you can get you a dough mixer or batter mixer just like this is great. I found it at a thrift store. And they're typically not cheap, but I paid like $4 for it. All right. It is just about to be boiling. We're going to mix it together. Let me get that again. And you pour that in there. Just mix it up till it's all together. If you're gonna make it in 2 9-inch pans, you're gonna want to bake it for about 30 to 35 minutes, or depending on your oven. It will also, or you can just insert a toothpick or something just to make sure it's all done all the way through. If you're doing it on a sheet pan like I'm choosing to do, it's only going to take about 15 minutes because it will be very thin. Almost got it ready to go. Wanted to make sure everything was incorporated in it very well. It is very runny, which it should be after having boiling water added to it. All right. And I think I got pretty much all the lumps out of it too. All right. Let me grab a spatula. Christmas one too. All right. Let me put this over here. I think it's pretty even. Gonna pour it right into the pan. Oh, perfect timing. All right. Just kind of make sure it's pretty even. I'm going to throw it in the oven for about 15 minutes, or also after 15 minutes, check it, put a toothpick in it. All right. So in about 15 minutes, we'll check that. And I think I'm also going to make the frosting for it. So I'll come back here in a few minutes and get that going. And then hopefully by the time I have that done, the cake will come out. But it's okay, the cake has to cool down anyway. So I will be back shortly. Okay, I am back. I'm going to make the frosting really quick. I'm pretty sure my daughter is waking up after an almost 3.5 hour nap. She was tired. So I already took a stick of butter, 1/2 cup, and melted it. And I'm going to go ahead and pour that into this, and wash this pan, or bowl. I washed this bowl, so pour it into there. And to that, I'm going to add 2/3 cup of baking cocoa, which I'm almost out. So there's about 1/3. And it looks like we're just going to use it all because I didn't have anything to save. Just a tiny bit over, it's fine. So we're going to mix that together. And again, hopefully that will help take out the lumps from the cocoa. I don't know why it tends to get lumpy like that, but it does. Now this is an icing, so it will be thick. Now, this is the way to get it chocolate. And to that, you're going to add 3 cups of powdered sugar. So let's just hope I have 3 cups here. I have a 1.5 cup, and we're going to start. So I just need 2 of these. Okay, that's about 3 cups. Maybe a little over, might a little under. Who knows? And to that, to help it also be able to stir well, 1/3 cup of milk. All right. Give that a stir until it's all blended and mixed in very well and smooth and spreadable. It should be a little thick. You don't want runny frosting. You know, I probably could have added heavy whipping cream. I might do that at another time. And until then, we'll just follow the recipe. We'll see how it goes. Now that it's spreadable, very smooth in there, now you can add your teaspoon or eyeball of vanilla. All right. Again, give that another good stir, get it all mixed in. This looks so good. It even smells good. All right, y'all. I will come back once I have pulled the cake out of the oven, which is about another 5 more minutes, give or take. But this frosting looks amazing. Can't wait to put it on and try it. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I am back, and the baby's awake, but I gave her some snacks, so hopefully she can stay away from the oven. I'm about to take it out. I'm going to check it with the toothpick. It should come out clean. And it has come out clean. I usually test it in multiple areas. And it's come out pretty clean. So, we're going to let it rest and cool. And it came out a little thicker than I was thinking for like the pumpkin roll, so the rolled cake aspect. So my thoughts are cut them into like thirds, into either thirds or fourths, and do a layered cake. But we'll see what I come up with. I'm going to let it cool for the time being. And once it's cooled, I'll come back and frost it, and we'll see what decision is made, whether I go with 2 or 3. So we shall see. Okay, guys. So some time has elapsed. Actually, quite a bit. I should have put some parchment paper down because it's stuck. So I had to improvise, and I did some cuts and slowly but surely made it into a cake. It is a very rustic cake. It's a hot mess. Let's just put it at that. Not gonna lie though, it's very moist. It was really good. Or is really good. The frosting is good. So I wasn't gonna post this, but I figured, hey, it's got to be realistic. So there's going to be times when it turns out and when it doesn't. And it didn't turn out how I wanted it to, but I'm not going to lie, the flavor is amazing. So, that is my first talk through video. Realistic. Not everything turns out how you want it. Picture perfect, pretty. Let me tell you, it is one hot mess. But at least the flavor's there. Thanks for watching. And hopefully the next one turns out way better than this one.